Looking for a tasty and easy Chinese recipe to make at home, or craving a delicious Chinese-style boneless chicken dinner? Look no further. This recipe has got you covered. Now, this dish exactly does not have a proper name, I guess, but it is something I always make when I'm craving Chinese food. Think of it as a Journal Tao chicken meets honey sesame chicken meets chicken Manchurian. Simply marinated chicken fried to perfection and paired with sweet and savory sauce, it is sure to curb those cravings. So let's get started with the recipe, but before that, please do consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. Now this recipe is super quick, easy and very simple. So start by marinating 500 grams of chicken boneless breast or thighs. Thighs are preferred, but since I didn't have those at home, I ended up using boneless chicken breast. Add in half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and about quarter teaspoon of Chinese 5 spices. If you don't have those, you can use Garam Masala instead. And then we're going to add in the tenderizing agents, which is half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of baking soda. If you're using chicken thighs, use half teaspoon baking soda. For chicken breast, like I'm using here, use 1 teaspoon of baking soda, followed by 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Give it a toss and then add in soy sauce. I'm using mushroom soy sauce. I've been recently really enjoying the smokiness and the black color that it gives, the dark brown color that it gives to the dish. If you don't have that, use regular dark soy sauce or 2 tablespoons of any soy sauce that you have. Then add 4 tablespoons or quarter cup of corn flour and 1 whole egg. Mix it all really nicely and let it marinate for about 20 to 30 minutes. This does not need a lot of downtime. The only marination time that is good enough is the time that you'll probably be preparing the aromatics or the sauce. Talking about aromatics, I'm using green onions, but if you don't have those at home, feel free to use regular onion. Just use 1 small onion instead of 4 to 6 shoots of green onion. Chop them finely. I'm going to divide my green onion in 2. So the white, lighter parts I'm going to use for my aromatic while I'm frying the chicken, and the darker ones I'm going to use as a garnish. I also have 3 large cloves of garlic and a very small piece of ginger. So once you have that, put it to a side, and then it's time to prepare our sauce. So for the sauce, I have about half a cup of tomato ketchup, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey or brown sugar or regular sugar, or even maple sugar. Use whatever you have at home. I'm using chili paste, about 1 teaspoon, but if you don't have that, it's okay. You can simply replace it by chopped fresh green chilies, depending on how spicy you want it. And I'm also adding 1 teaspoon of sriracha sauce, but you can skip it or add more or less depending on how spicy you want your gravy to be. Lastly, add 3 1/4 cup of water, mix it all up and set it aside. So for cooking, we're going to prepare our chicken first. I have my pan on medium-high heat and I'm adding my chicken pieces one at a time. You don't want to add all of them together because they will clump up and the chicken is not going to get that nice crispy brown crust on top that we want. So let the chicken cook for a couple of minutes on one side. You'll start noticing that it's shrinking a little bit and the edges are turning slightly lighter in color. That's when you know that it's time to flip the chicken pieces. So this should take about 5 to 6 minutes depending on how thick your chicken is. And I like to tilt my pan towards the end, so if there is any raw mixture or marination on the sides, it can get cooked too. So once the chicken is done, take it out on a plate and set it aside. Even this chicken is so delicious and juicy on its own. I'm definitely guilty of eating more than one before tossing them into the gravy. So talking about gravy, it's time to make that. We're going to use the same pan because it has a lot of flavor. I'm using 2 tablespoons of canola oil and a tablespoon of sesame oil. You want your pan to heat up on medium-high till the oil is glistening and glimmering and you see slight waves forming on it. That's when you know that it's at perfect stir-fry temperature. Add in the aromatics, that is your ginger, your garlic and green onion. Fry it till it's fragrant, followed by adding the sauce that we had prepared earlier. Give it all a good stir and let the sauce simmer on medium-low heat for 5 to 6 minutes. You'll see that it's gonna start changing its color, and also there will be these orangish rusty bubbles that form on top like you can see here on the video too. You don't need to actively be stirring the pot, you just want it to cook and bring out all of those flavors. Once that is done, taste your sauce and see if there is any adjustments that need to be done, because you cannot do that after you add the corn flour slurry, which is about a tablespoon of corn flour plus 2 tablespoons of water mixed till it's lump free. Now at this point you do need to actively stir the sauce because you don't want it to stick at the bottom, and you also want the corn flour to cook through. You'll see that your sauce is getting really shimmery and glossy. That's when you know that it's ready. If you want to make this gravy thinner, you can use more water with your corn flour to make the slurry, or you can double up the sauce if you want it saucier. Add in the chicken once it is done, mix it up, and there you have it. I like to top it up with some sesame seeds and green onions that we had saved before. This recipe is also very versatile because you can add in any vegetable that you have. Just stir fry it like you fried the chicken without the marination, just salt and pepper, and you can add it in and turn it into an entirely new recipe. So that was all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this recipe. If you did, please do consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. Until next time, the Homemaker Baker over and out.